Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Stud Circle who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses from there.
Here we are on Horses Sing None of It, folks, and we're with the Juggernaut String Band, which includes Maxwell Doncow. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Peter Bregmentani and Janet Bregmentani.
Hi, Ralph.
Nice to have you all here.
Great to be here, Ralph.
That's a wonderful song. Tell us, where do you come from and where does that song come from? What's it about?
Well, it's all about ripe plantains, you know. And
ripe
we call
plantains.
we call it totally. Ripe plantains are just like, you know, big bananas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's kind of a very good lunch for us, you know. Yeah, we don't joke with that, see. So there's a special song, Tatali, which really induces everybody, you know, to get into it. So all that the song is saying is that, you know, the ripe plantain is ready, you know, it's fried. It's ready with like bean stew or, you know, beef stew or something like that, more spicy, you know. And that, come on, let's go eat.
Great.
Yeah.
And where do you come from?
I come from Ghana.
From Ghana.
West Africa, yeah.
And you're playing some beautiful drums here.
Yeah.
Did you make these?
Sure.
You make them, and that's a traditional drum in your country.
Yep. I'm an Ashanti, and this is a traditional Ashanti drum. You know, it's a set of 4. This is the father, that's the mother, then we have the 2 children. You know, we personalize the stuff, you know. And it's basically used for like a court dance. You know, when the king or Tumfu or Pukuwari is sort of relaxing, we have people playing, you know, in the palace, and then the dancers treating the king to a very cool, slow court dance. Yeah.
Sounds great. They're beautiful sounding and beautiful looking.
Yeah. It's made from solid wood, if you look at it. Real solid log, you know.
Wow.
The cloth is just a covering, you know, that gives it the name. The black signifies hope, and then the red, alertness. So it's a kind of message to the king, to be alert to the needs of the people, and to be hopeful that he can rule, with all the problems.
And you carved that out of a log?
Yeah.
Wow. And so how did you meet up with these guys?
Well,
we got a call from some friends in the Pocono Mountains when we still lived in Philadelphia. And they said, they've had a lot of problems in the schools in this area, and they want to have more reaching out from different cultural groups to each other and have a good demonstration of that with music. And so they said, we'd like you to meet with different people, and could you bring some of your friends from Philadelphia that play other music from other countries, and would you like to meet, we have this African guy that's been living up here for a little while, we'd like you to meet him and play with him too. So we brought a Brazilian musicians, a Native American drummer, and we met with Maxwell, and we made a program and went to the schools, and that's the first time we played together. And that was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And since then, we've discovered the natural connection. As you already know from your own playing, the banjo comes from Africa, and the natural connection of the rhythms from the banjo and the drums makes a great sound. Yeah. A lot of the rhythms that we play on the banjo with the backs of our fingernails go directly back to the West African drum rhythms. And so it makes a great combination.
Great. What you going to play for us now?
Well, we've got Maxwell branching out on other hand percussion, and the Cajun tradition has a lot of the African sound in it too. And in Maxwell's music, we play bells. There's a bell I call the tatale because it looks like a big iron banana. And then they have the double bells from Nigeria and from Brazil that we also play. And now we've got Maxwell playing the Cajun triangle, which is played in a very African fashion. So he's branching out a little bit on this. And I'll play the Cajun fiddle. There's an old waltz called the Old Carpenter's Waltz, and I never knew any words for it. And I've always felt that I wanted to give tribute to my father and to the way he brought me into woodworking all my life. He wasn't a professional woodworker, but all my life I was one of 8 kids, and he had to make a lot of shelves for our rooms and went into other kinds of woodworking. And I played in the sawdust as a kid and grew to really love wood, the smell of the wood, and do some woodworking myself now in a not as professional manner. But this is my tribute, and it's the Old Carpenter's Waltz with words dedicated to Charlie Tawney, my dad. Oh, the heart of a tree loves the carpenter's hand, like a child loves a toy made by her old man. And in the heart of a tree runs a river of time, and her waves and her shores run through the things made by Dad. Her shaven in the air, with the scent of Piney Mountain, and the sawdust pile road, soft as goose feather down, of the pedestal from the case of cherry wood, dark as burgundy, rub the wax from the hive into grain deep inside. Still turns in the heart of a bowl, and Dad turns the bowl like he's dancing with Mom around the family tree, and the things made by Dad will shade the air with the scent of Piney Mountain, and the sawdust pile road, soft as dew feather down, of the pedestal and taste of cherry wood, dark as burgundy, rub the wax from the hive into grain deep inside. darkest burgundy, rub the wax from the high into grain deep inside. Through the shade and through the air, with the scent of tiny mountains and the thought of pine road, soft as goose feathers down. Oh, the roots of the tree draw the earth to its heart, like a child takes to shine to the carpenter's art. And I grew in the shade, and the smell the wood had, and every chip from my blade comes from the things made by Dad. On the pedestal face of cherry wood, dark and burgundy, rub the wax from the high into grain deep inside. Through the shade and the air, with the scent of pine mountain and the thought of pine road, soft as goose feathers down. Yeah, I don't know what the French for that would be, but that's my take on an old French tune. Yeah.
Hey, nice. Nicely done.
Yeah. When I played that for my dad, you know, he was having a rough time with his health, and I made him smile that day. And then I went back to his house, and I'd written the third verse by then, and I was waiting for him to ask me to play again. He didn't. And so by the end of the week, I was going, "Well, Dad, what did you think of that tune?" He goes, "I'm not a carpenter." typical of my dad.
Fine wood, money.
He's a, you know, fine wood, museum quality restoration at this point in his life.
Cool. Well, we practiced up a little jug band too.
Oh yeah.
Launch into that here. If folks want to get in touch with the Juggernaut String Band, they can reach you folks at a telephone number that will magically appear on the screen there. 717-476-6352. That's 717-476-6352. They can find out by calling that number where you might be performing. Oh, and we also have, they can find information on your albums here. See if Bob can get a shot of that. Bob Fivehouse on the camera there, ladies and gentlemen. He's got it. Medicine Dog and Square Dance tunes. They on that Square Dance album, they call the dances, and you can learn how to square dance from listening to that album, or how to call a square dance. Gives all the instructions. And this is an old jug band number, and Peter's going to play the jug.
Make it official.
We got two banjos, no waiting. Hey, Lord, Mama, hey, Lord, Papa, honey, on the mobile line. There's a line to ride to ease your trouble and mine. Well, I got a letter, this is the way it read. Hey, Lord, Mama, hey, Lord, Papa, how about the way it read? Come home, the gal you love you said. So I packed up a suitcase, packed up a bundle of clothes. Hey, Lord, Mama, hey, Lord, Papa, how about the bundle of clothes? Yeah, on the train and down the track we go. How about that fiddle there, Janet? We're gonna stop in Paris.
give all the ladies a dance. Give us one there, Peter. Keep on going, deep double flop, da 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 da. Walk, walk down the town. On your mind. Hey, dirty mama, mama, hey, dirty papa, papa, bullfrogs on your mind. It's the line to ride, and he's no trouble in mind. Did you ever take a trip, honey, on the mobile line? Hey, dirty mama, mama, hey, dirty papa, papa, honey, on the mobile line. It's the line to ride, and he's no trouble in mind. Sounded good there, folks. Help me out with that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Real cool. I enjoy that.
Yeah, that's great with the drums.
Pushes it right along.
Yeah, just like walking through it, you know.
You know, most people don't realize how much African there is in our music, you know. The drums really bring that out. Just ride on that cushion, man.
What you got lined up for us next?
Well, in terms of the African sound, there's some tunes that seem to me to call out for more of an African style treatment, and this next one's a case in point. We're going to do John Henry, which is an old like classic bluegrass tune, classic folk tune, but we give it a little bit of a different treatment. Get the drums involved.
We were reintroduced to this tune when a film strip company, or I guess an educational video company, asked us to do it for a soundtrack. And in the video, the voice that tells everybody all the educational stuff is Irene Bedard, who was the voice of Pocahontas. So we appeared with Irene Bedard, even though we were on different days. Recorded, you know.
Guys ready? One. Well, John Henry was a little baby, sat on mama's knee. He picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel. Said this hammer's gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. This hammer's gonna be the death of me. Well, John Henry had a little woman. Her name was Polly Ann. When Johnny was sick and he had to go to bed, Polly Ann drove steel like a man, Lord, Lord. Polly Ann drove steel like a man. Polly Ann drove steel like a man, Lord, Lord. Polly Ann drove steel like a man. Well, Captain said to John Henry, I want to bring that steam drill around. I want to bring that steam drill out on the job. Whop that steel on down, Lord, Lord. Whop that steel on down. Whop that steel on down, Lord, Lord. Whop that steel on down. Well, John Henry, he said to the captain, hey, a man ain't nothing but a man. Them boys I let that old steam mill beat me down. Wanna die with a hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Die with a hammer in my hand. Yeah. Die with a hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Die with a hammer in my hand. Yeah. Why don't you stand? Throwing 20 pounds still from my hips on down. Just listen to that cold ring, Lord, Lord. Listen to that cold steel ring. Just listen to that cold steel ring, Lord, Lord. Listen to that cold steel ring. Well, the past has been in that steam drill, yeah. He thought he was mighty fine. Well, John had that steam drill, 16 feet. That steam drill only made 9, Lord, Lord. Steam drill only made 9. That steam drill only made 9, Lord, Lord. Steam drill only made 9. John Henry, he hammered in the mountain. His hammer was striking fire. He hammered so hard, he broke his poor heart. He laid down his hammer and he died, Lord, Lord. Laid down his hammer and he died. Laid down his hammer and he died, Lord, Lord. Laid down his hammer and he died. He laid down his hammer and he died, Lord, Lord. Laid down his hammer and he died. He laid down his hammer and he died, Lord, Lord. Laid down his hammer and he died. He laid down his hammer and he died, Lord, Lord. He laid down his hammer and he died. Oh yeah. Right.
Thank you. Yeah. Makes you want to just pick up a hammer and take over, huh?
Yeah. That was great. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, what, you said that you recorded that for some kind of production?
Yeah, it's going to be out on a nationally produced videotape for schools on American history.
Neat.
And there's this really strange animation that goes with it. It's like a lot of computer distorted woodcuts and things that are, you know, sort of herking and jerking around while we sing. And the kids get to sort of follow the bouncing ball thing with it, to sing along with it in the classroom.
All right.
So.
Cool.
We love animation, so now we've been part of the industry too.
Don't we all love anime? That's great.
Okay, let's see. Well, we've got time for either 2 short numbers or 1 long number, or tell a story or something.
Well, this is kind of a medium-length number with a story that goes with it.
Okay.
How's that?
Perfect.
So Jan and I and some other musicians that we were with at the time got invited to be part of the 1994 Christmas Revels in Philadelphia, and it's a national sort of chain of people that do. They call it. Well, their sort of motto is that people came dancing down through the ages to celebrate the seasonal whatevers, you know, and ours, to give you an example, was called the Appalachian Revels, where they'd had the Victorian Revels and the Mesoamerican Revels, and you know. But even though it was the Appalachian Revels, they still managed to work in some of the ancient English traditions as they were reinvented or reimagined to fit into the Appalachian Mountains.
They hired us to be the band, and there's a point where the band has to play a song, and usually you want a nice traditional square dancey tune because the people are out there in their Appalachian clothes doing a little square dance. But Peter decided he had to write a perfect tune. There was a quilting number right before it, so we decided to use a quilting theme, and this has some of the quilting patterns in it. If you listen real close, you'll notice. and we call it the quilting song.
And Gene Ritchie was sort of one of the real main front stars out on stage, along with some other great people like Steve Hickman, the ham bone and fiddler, and Ira Bernstein, the clog dancer. But in being inspired by being with Gene, I put in sort of a dulcimer part in it as well. Okay, Gene, kick it off.
Well, gather up patchwork pieces of life, patterns that we sew, stars and snowflakes falling from the sky, hitched up row by row. Or stitch to the left, hold on tight, fingers dancing slow. Later on tonight, we'll circle to the right, rosin up the fiddle and the ball. There's a log cabin in Granddaddy Moon, made of calico. If Grandma's singing, make a wedding ring, dance on fields of snow. One stitch to the left, hold on tight, fingers dancing slow. Later on tonight, we'll circle to the right, rosin up the fiddle and the bow. Bob and swing, scissors tilt on a crazy quilt and cut the pigeon wing. One stitch to the left, hold on tight, fingers dancing slow. Later on tonight, we'll circle to the right, rosin up the fiddle and the bow. Gravy, wrapped with sleeves, worth its weight in gold. A shadow box and tumbling blocks to bring back days of old. One stitch to the left, hold on tight, fingers dancing slow. Later on tonight, we'll circle to the right, rosin up the fiddle and the bow. Stitch to the left, hold on tight, fingers dancing slow.